Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the 2016 coming-of-age body horror drama film written and directed by Julia Ducournau, Raw, which is French for grave. It's actually in French, so that's a little interesting fact for you guys. But yeah, we're going to get into the plot, the critical reception, my own review, that sort of thing. So let's get into it. By the way, we are going to be talking about the entire movie, everything that happened. Spoiler warning, if you haven't watched this movie, go watch it. I would say it's kind of worth it, you know. But this follows the lifelong vegetarian by the name of Justine. She begins her first semester of veterinarian school, the same one her older sister Alexia is attending, and where their parents met. So this is like a family legacy thing, you know, everyone goes to this veterinarian school, this vet school. Sorry if I have hiccups and stuff. Yeah. So on her first night, she meets her roommate Adrian, when they are forced to partake in a week-long hazing ritual welcoming the new students, which they call rookies. It's almost like a frat, like sorority type of thing. It's a very like cultic like culture they got, I guess. They're brought to a party where Alexia shows Justine old class photos of students bathed in blood, including one with their parents. That's the tradition. They sit there for their class photo, and they dump some sort of animal blood on them. That's just kind of how it goes. The next morning, the new class is splattered with blood and is forced to eat raw rabbit kidneys. Oh yeah, forgot that was a part of the ritual, and given that she's a vegetarian, this did not bode well with her. It doesn't really bode well with anyone because eating a animal's organs raw is kind of gross. So, yeah, this place is strange off the bat. It's kind of like in your face the entire time. It's really interesting. I mean, this film is pretty fast paced, it seems. Like, everything's just kind of thrown her way. Justine refuses because of her vegetarianism, but Alexia forces her to eat one, which, yeah. Justine leaves with Adrian and later discovers an itchy rash all over her body, which is pretty much food poisoning from, you know, the rabbit kidney, something that a normal human is not supposed to eat. Maybe like another animal can eat that, but not a human. She goes to the doctor who diagnoses her with food poisoning and gives her a cream for the rash. Obviously, she's going to get food poisoning from probably any meat she eats, given that she's a vegetarian, you know? So it seems like a pretty normal thing. The next day, Justine begins having cravings for meat, which makes her feel ashamed. Obviously, she wanted to, you know, live this vegetarian lifestyle and, you know, protect the animals. That's why she's being a vet, you know. But now, all of a sudden, she's like, oh shit, I kind of liked that. I kind of want to try more. Oh man. It's kind of gross. So, after a failed attempt to steal a burger from the cafeteria, she doesn't want anyone to see. She wants to like hold up her reputation of being a vegan, I guess. I don't know, vegetarian. She and Adrian take a late night trip to a gas station so no one will see her eating meat. I'm not sure why she feels so ashamed of it. It's kind of strange. Unsatisfied, she eats raw chicken in the morning and later throws up a long bundle of her own hair she'd been chewing on, which doesn't really seem that realistic. There's no way she ate that much hair. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing. Some parts of this film don't quite add up well. But yeah. So she eats raw meat. She tries out raw meat and she likes it, which is fucking nasty, and that's really not good for you. I don't know how she didn't suffer health issues during the film. I mean, I guess she kind of did. That night, Alexia attempts to give her a bikini wax. Excuse me, but when Alexia tries to cut the wax off with sharp scissors, Justine kicks her away and Alexia accidentally cuts her own finger. I mean, it really wasn't Alexia's fault. I mean, the force from Justine's kick kind of cut her finger off. And this is a big turning point in the film because this is when people start to realize she just likes meat. It doesn't matter what kind of meat. You know, she's not even just like a pure carnivore, like, oh, beef, pork, all that. She's eating humans, too. So yeah, Alexia faints and Justine picks up the finger, tastes the blood, and starts eating it, which was probably one of the more nasty parts of the film. It gets really nasty. They start to eat other people, like her and her sister, like an evil sibling dynamic. Ugh. Alexia wakes up to find Justine doing this, but later tells her parents that her dog Quickie ate it because she wants her sister to, thrive in the school. Even though it's super fucked up, maybe she knows a little bit of something because we find out later in the film that, or actually at the very end of the film, that her mother. We'll get to that. So the next morning, Alexia takes Justine to a deserted road where Alexia jumps in front of a car, causing the two people in it to crash into a tree. Now, when you're first watching this, you're like, what the hell is she doing? This doesn't even make any sense. But Alexia starts eating one of the passengers so that her sister would learn. Instead, Justine is just dismayed. She's just disturbed. She's not very, disciplined about this all. And she's, trying to show Justine. She's like, do you see how fucking psychotic I look right now? I mean, I guess that was the point of doing that. Despite this, Justine's craving for human meat grows, and she starts lusting after Adrian. I mean, she kind of has, a crush on him damn near from the start, but now she starts, wanting a little bit more than that, and it's, She has fantasies, and it's kind of crazy. That night, she arrives at a party where paint is thrown at her as part of another hazing ritual, and she is forced to make out with someone. One of them's blue, one of them's yellow, and they're supposed to make green. And I'm sure you guys know exactly what that entails, so yeah. While kissing, Justine bites the middle of his bottom lip off, leaving the other party guests shocked and disgusted. I mean, at least you got what you wanted. Oh my god, ew. It's fucking nasty. I can't even fathom doing that. That is so ew. So Justine goes back to her dorm and takes a shower where he picks a chunk of his lip out of her teeth and eats it. Oh my god. It's nasty, dude. It's really gross. I mean, this film is pretty disgusting. I know, I can handle stuff. I've seen some pretty disturbing films in the past, but holy shit, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to watch this again just because of that. And they do the gore so well. But yeah. Justine confides in Adrian, and they end up having sex, even though Adrian is gay, during which Justine tries to bite Adrian, but instead bites her own arm until it bleeds profusely, seeming to orgasm while doing so, which is, I know, it's fucked. It's kind of crazy. So, at another party, Justine gets extremely intoxicated, and Alexia takes her to the morgue. And the next day, everyone in school stares at Justine, some avoiding her, and even as an audience, you're kind of wondering what the hell happened. We didn't really get to see the full story. Adrian shows her a video where Justine is crawling on all fours, attempting to take a bite out of the arm of a corpse, as Alexia eggs her on, to boos and cheers from a crowd of watching party guests. The school is really fucking, I don't know. I don't know if there's a school that exists like this. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know if I can imagine this. Justine confronts Alexia and fights her, eventually biting each other until they are pulled apart by other students. So now the students know that these people are fucking crazy. These people are psychotic. These sisters, it's yeah, they're biting each other. And Justine helps Alexia up, and they walk each other back to their dorms, realizing that they can kind of almost connect on the fact that they like this. The next morning, Justine wakes up in bed with Adrian, but she notices she is covered in blood. Uh-oh. She pulls off the blankets, finding Adrian dead with most of his right leg eaten and a stab wound in his back. Obviously, what's her name? Alexia helped, stabbed him, put him out, decapacitated him. Or incapacitated him, whatever you call it. Justine then sees a bloody Alexa slumping on the floor. Justine is initially furious that Alexia killed Adrian, but then cleans Alexia and herself up in the shower, realizing that she probably helped this too. They are in a pretty disoriented state. Alexia is in prison for the murder of Adrian, and Justine is sent back home. Her parents realize this is not the place for her, even though she's super gifted at being a vet. Things that happen at the school are just not for her. There, Justine's father tells her what happened is neither hers nor Alexa's fault, and you kind of watch her like, damn, I wonder why. He explains that when he first met their mother, he cannot understand why she did not want to be with him, and why, overall, she probably didn't want to pursue a relationship. But then, her father says he finally realized when they kissed the first time, indicating a scar on his lip. So yeah, she bit him. She couldn't give in to the temptations. So this is pretty much a genetic thing, which is a crazy kind of revelation to have in this film. Her father said, he then opens his shirt, revealing scars and missing chunks in his chest, and tells Justine that she will find a solution. She better not get into any romantic relationships, because I promise you that is not going to end well. But let's get into the review. We can talk about a couple of film aggregators, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93%, approval 7.9 out of 10, 200 reviews. Raw's lurid violence and sexuality live up to its title, but they're anchored with an immersive atmosphere and deep symbolism that linger long after the provocative visuals fade. Like, I don't know, they didn't close the film in the greatest way, I suppose. It's a pretty solid movie. I mean, a lot of people like this movie, I would say. Some people are saying this is Suspiria meeting Ginger Snaps, which I haven't seen either of those movies, but I guess that's a cool comparison. And a muscular yet elegant campus cannibal horror from bright new talent Julia Ducournau. So yeah, at the time this was one of Julia Ducournau's first films, apparently. I don't know if she's succeeding in any more, but you kind of get this like A24 type of atmosphere from this film. I don't think it is produced by A24, but that's an interesting thing to note. It's an A movie, I would say. I mean, the only thing that throws it off is the gore. The strongest of the female-led films I've seen probably from 2016 is this movie. Julia Ducournau's beautifully realized, symbolically rich, and disturbingly erotic meditation on primal hungers of all kinds. It's like this lust. It's like this feeling. It's like this want for something. I guess that's what it represents. And they obviously use a horror type gruesome way to illustrate this point. But yeah, I guess that's the whole point of the film. I mean, it's a contender for probably one of the best horror movies I've seen on this channel. I mean, it's up there. It's just the gruesomeness kind of holds it back a little bit. The film had audiences squirming in their seats and a few queasy patrons rushing for the exits. It was far more than a gory horror film. Director Julia Ducournau brings a sense of humanity to the story. There's a sense of empathy. It's not just a horror movie that's going for a shock. There's a little more than that. It's another unwieldy metaphor bundled in showy cinematography. The movie's curatorial preciousness is an overall insistence on contrived set pieces. It's probably I would say it's one of the best movies of 2016 from what I've seen. I mean, the fluidity and unpredictability of the human appetite is one of the movie's most playful and persistent themes. So yeah, you gotta love it. I think this is a pretty solid film overall. Again, if you're kind of squirmish, there's a couple movies I've reviewed on my channel that if you're a little squirmish, you probably shouldn't watch these films. But I'm out, guys. I gotta get ready for class. I'm recording this. I'm gonna hopefully post it to you guys sometime soon. So have a good rest of your day. Tomorrow we're going to be reviewing The Exorcist. So I'm out, guys.